if you are thinking about becoming a member or gifting memberships, now is the time to do it, as we're about to go ahead and start the stream with our intro. But just before we do start the stream, go ahead and smash the like button on the stream right now, Wings of Redemption style. Let's go, and let's get ready to start the show. Let's go!
Yeah. Stream king flexing, pressing record, no stressing. Frame tight, focus sharp, never second guessing. Live stream heat, no edit confession. Chat lit, crazier than a Shark Tank session. Lighting up the feed, living in the stream dream. Challenges supreme, making moves on the live screen. Climbing views taller than a skyscraper beam. Ruler of the web, yet a stream king gleam. Timer set, blindfolded while the stakes peak. Spicy noodle sweat running, voice getting weak. Ice bath, cold words freeze mid-speak. Content so fire, it trends every week. Lighting up the feed, living in the stream dream. Challenges supreme, making moves on the live screen. Climbing views taller than a skyscraper beam. Ruler of the web, yet a stream king gleam. Super chat rings, audience full of kings. Comment section buzzing, making viral wings. Challenges click, grip tighter like slings. Epic every stream, crowds flocking like spring. 24-hour grind, pulling stunts untamed. Duct tape to the wall, yet they all know my name. Enemies try to troll, but they softer than fame. This the marathon throne, and I run this game. Yeah. Skyscraper beam, ruler of the web, yet a stream king gleam. Yeah. Super chat rings, Audi wins still the kings. Spicy noodle sweat, running, voice getting weak. Ice bath, cold words freeze mid-speak. Content so fire, it trends every week. 24-hour grind, pulling stunts untamed. Duct tape to the wall, yet they all know my name. Enemies try to troll, but they softer than fame. This the marathon throne, and I run this game. Yeah. 24-hour grind, pulling stunts untamed. Duct tape to the wall, yet they all know my name. Enemies try to troll, but they softer than fame. This the marathon throne, and I run this game. Yeah. Run this game.
What is up, everybody? Hope everybody is having a great weekend so far. Let's kick off the weekend in the right way. This is Dan BYT Official Live. So, here we go. This is going to be something pretty new on this channel, and something that I'm excited to get into, to be honest. But first of all, before we get into the main topic of this whole stream, let's do a little recap of the past week. Yeah, it's been another pretty busy week. I thought things would calm down a little bit. I might get a time, to sneak a little stream in or something like that on one of the days of the week. No, it's been one thing after the other all week. So yeah, another very, very busy week over here. So yeah, that's pretty much the concept, the whole concept of this week. It's been pretty busy, but yeah, hope you guys have all had a good week. And I thought I'd treat you guys this weekend to a double stream weekend. So I'm going to be streaming today, this stream right here, and I'm also going to be streaming tomorrow. So we're going to be streaming on Saturday and Sunday. So we're going to be doing a double stream this weekend because I figured I need to bless you guys with some content, because yeah, the YouTube community has just been drama recently. It's been so much drama recently, so I'm gonna take away from that and throw you into some more drama as we react to Wings of Redemption leaving Lolcow live. And yeah, this is quite interesting because we haven't really covered Wings of Redemption on this YouTube channel yet. And yeah, he is new to this channel, and also, quite frankly, that's how it was when I started watching the LCU. Wings was kind of new to me, and yeah, let's go on this crazy journey together and look over the whole thing of Wings of Redemption. But yeah, so yeah, this week has been kind of crazy, so I was like, you know what, we need to do a stream, we need to get the stream up and running. Had a couple of plans. So today's stream will be about Wings of Redemption, him leaving Lolcow live for the second time, and why he left. Because I've got a clip, I've got some footage of why he left, and him like explaining that, because I think he did explain it on a stream. I did try and look for a video on his channel maybe or something like that, but I couldn't find anything that specifically addressed why he was leaving. So you know what I did? I just typed that shit into Google or into YouTube more likely, and we found something. So that is what we're going to be going ahead and playing today, as well as Wings of Redemption's last stream on Lolcow Live. So we can see, because I haven't watched, I really haven't watched this whole stream, so I don't know if Wings even quits on live or whether it was like a thing after live and that was like a whole thing. So much stuff to get through today in our 2 hours, because I'm pretty sure we're gonna go for 2 hours today. This is a fair amount of content, so we got 2 hours going here. So yeah, we're pretty much gonna get into this right now, and yeah, but let's go through this right now. So let's get this all going. Oh yeah, one last thing as well. So as I was talking about my update, I completely forgot to gloss over the biggest thing that happened this week, which was genuinely such a pain, because it really did affect just like what I could do. I wasn't even sure if I was going to be able to stream this weekend because of this thing. And yeah, so what happened was I had, well, basically one of my ears got like blocked, and yeah, that pretty much, so I couldn't hear out of one of my ears for like pretty much the last couple of days. So I was like, oh my god, right, okay, is this going to be like, hopefully this doesn't go on long, because I've definitely suffered with this before, and got like ear infections and stuff like that, so like I'm definitely prone to getting like ear infections and stuff like that, because I believe it's something to do with the tubes in my ears being like slightly more narrow, so, you know, like, say like a chunk of wax or something is more likely to get like basically lodged there. So that was just a bit of an issue, because I was like, oh my, okay, so the last time this thing happened, it literally took like a week to clear all of this stuff. It was such a pain, but thankfully it cleared itself within a couple of days, and we're back to normal now, so that's good, because I wasn't sure. I was gonna try and stream and like try and just see how things were going, but yeah, thankfully yesterday everything sort of cleared up and I was able to just go ahead and stream. So I'm quite happy that we managed to get on stream like now. So let's go ahead and take a little look at this, because that is the weekly recap over and done with. I'm not going to call it the weekly recap. Definitely not going to call it the weekly recap. It's just something that I like to do because I haven't been streaming this week. So I thought, you know what, weekly recap, nice little recap of my week, and let's get straight into the stream right here. So we're gonna get into the first video right at the top here. Let me go ahead and switch to the reaction view right here. Okay, let me just fix this camera real quick. Okay, here we are. So this is the video we're going to be looking at first, which is Wing's final stream on Lolcow Live, and conveniently it's called Wings Confronts Billy the Fridge for Calling His Wife Ugly. Now, I really don't have much background to go off with this, so please do forgive me for the lack of knowledge on this topic. I haven't watched this stream, to be honest, so we're going to be watching it for the first time. If any of you people watching have watched the stream, this will be your second time or third time or whatever you want to, however long you've been watching these streams for. But yeah, so let's just get straight into this. I'm probably gonna have to skip some of this because there's gonna be an intro. So
or should I?
Okay, wait, not much going on so far. See, this is why I do the whole countdown thing with my streams, to avoid like this from happening. So I just don't like how it looks when like streamers kind of do this, when they're like trying to set up the stream, but that's like cut into the first part of the video on demand. I'd rather have like a nice countdown go on so I can set up all the behind the scenes of the stream, get everything set up nice and ready for the stream, so that I can just come on, do my mic bit, click a button, start the show, and then click another button, and we're here. So yeah, that's kind of why I like to do this, because it just kind of works better than trying to faff around with on-screen intros as well. That's another thing that I'm not like a massive fan of with like live streams. These like these on-screen intros where they just pull up a video and play it. It works fine for like a reaction, because like obviously you're playing it and all that. But how I do my intros and everything is I have it loaded up as a scene in OBS, so it just plays nice and smoothly, and it just helps with the viewer experience, I guess. So yeah, fun little behind the scenes fact of how I make these streams and how I kind of do things behind the scenes. So yeah. Anyway, let's continue with this.
Or should I?
I do, however, like the animation here. I think this is really, really cool. I like that. We had and I guess our intro is kind of animated. It's like a bit of a looped thing that I managed to put together, and it works. But yeah, the animation is kind of cool. I've got to give it to them. Yeah.
It's the same old thing. Boogie is lying while Kim is trying to talk to.
Okay, this is no longer relevant after Wings left the show, and I don't think Boogie's in this one either. But yeah, we're gonna skip this because okay, I think it's hosted by Billy the Fridge.
We got old.
So let me pause this. So yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I don't know. They did this whole like South Park style intro, which I think is cool. I think it's South Park anyway. Family Guy, South Park, one of the two. So let's continue. Right.
Now live. Bum, 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 bum. You are watching the worst podcast on the internet with the worst host and the fattest fingers. Can't click the right button. But
I've got to say, off the bat, gotta love Billy the Fridge. He's just coming up here. He's got his little arm thing with the microphone underneath. So the microphone is kind of like up here, right in front of here, and then he's got his Labubu on the side. I like that. It's kind of chill. It's a vibe. It is a vibe. I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, let's continue.
What I can do is bring you the main man, Wings of Redemption, ladies and gentlemen. Wings, how you doing?
Hello, everybody. How you guys doing today?
Now, I must admit, I do like Lolcow Live better when Wings of Redemption is like the co-host. Now, not that I don't think the Wings works well as like a main host, like working OBS and all that kind of stuff, but I personally prefer it because I think he does enjoy it a lot better. He enjoys like bouncing off other people and instead of like trying to carry the show himself, which Keem is no longer on Lolcow Live. He kind of pops up every now and again to chime in and all that kind of stuff, but he isn't, like fully doing Lolcow Live anymore. So that is that. I suppose that's the whole thing. But yeah. So Keem's not there. Boogie is also not there at this point in time because, well, I think he's at Disneyland at this current point in time of the timeline. So Boogie's fucked off to Disneyland. Keem's off doing whatever Keemstar does with his free time, and then we've got Wings right here. And I really, really do like that Wings threw the OBS and all of that kind of stuff over to Billy the Fridge, because I think we're going to be in for a decent show. This is a strong start.
It's a hot day in the LCU.
It's always odd doing this with two people. Like it feels like a discussion. I've always been under the idea it takes 3 people to run a podcast successfully.
Definitely, and there's definitely a reason for why a lot of your podcasts are 3 people. You've got usually 2 hosts, and then you have a third individual who is your guest. And that dynamic is so that you have 2 hosts to keep it going, a main host and a co-host, and then you have the guest to interview, ask questions, and all of that kind of stuff. That is how I believe, again, I definitely agree with Wings on this one, that podcasts do tend to work a lot better when you have 3 people instead of just the 2, because it's kind of just a discussion if you have 2. I do also think that like if again it can work with 2 guests and 1 host as well, because then you get like almost an interview style thing. The guests kind of play off each other and you get a lot of that kind of stuff. But yeah, just like 2 people. But I have faith Wings of Redemption and Billy the Fridge can pull this one off.
It's like a table takes 3 legs of a table to hold it up.
Yeah,
I know I had to.
Yeah, that is quite a good analogy, because if you have like 2 legs on a table, unless the legs are like really, really thick and it's like one of them tables that are like that have like a huge leg right here, a huge leg right here, and it's holding up the middle. That's the only 2-legged table that will hold up. And Nat is in the chat, says hi. Hello, welcome to the stream. So yeah, let's continue.
I've had this conversation with Keem, and he pointed Joe Rogan. I was like, oh, this guy does it solo. And I'm like, does he? Does Joe Rogan do it solo? You got Joe Rogan, you got a guest, and then you have Jamie behind the scenes. That's 3 people.
The less people I have on the screen with me, the more I try and make the audience part of it. So you guys, if you're watching at home, all those TTSs are going to piss us off and get us hot.
I suppose that is one way to try and get TTSs in your chat and all that kind of stuff. So, how we do it is I've actually, one thing that I will, this gonna be trust me, this is gonna be a little sliding right here, because I still have some of these beautiful, where are they, right here, beautiful marshmallows left over from my IRL streams. So if you want me to eat a marshmallow on stream, I will do so for anybody who decides to go ahead and throw a super chat into this stream. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I was gonna do this as just a normal show, but then I was like, I look over and I see a mountain of marshmallows, because I completely overordered on the marshmallows, I'm not gonna lie. And I was just like, they're just gonna be sitting there. So I was like, you know what, fuck it, we're gonna incorporate it into the stream, and I will eat marshmallows. By the way, I am kind of sick of marshmallows as well, because I ate so many of them for that stream. Like, I felt dead. Like, you have the sugar rush, the high, and then it all came crashing back down, and that, yeah, not fun after that stream. It was just like, I just felt dead. Anyway, let's continue.
Yeah. So
Wait.
Right.
We hit that button.
Let's continue. Right. So let me think. We'll get the background in a second. So
you did Drunken Peasants for a long time.
Yeah.
How many people were on Drunken Peasants?
When I started, there were 4 main guys, and I was like a rotating host, and I was like the 5th guy.
Cool. That's cool. That's something I didn't really know. The Billy the Fridge was on a podcast, so of his own. So that's cool that he was like a host of that. So he has some like experience in the past. Maybe that's where like Keem found him from, because I know like obviously he has his music, which is pretty big, but maybe Keem kind of knew he had a bit of a background in podcasting, possibly.
And then 3 guys left, and it was me and 1 other guy, and we ran that with guests.
How did that go down? Because like when I think of Drunken Peasants, I think of like the atheist guy. What was his
Amazing
name?
Atheist? Yeah.
Yeah. What, T.J. Kirk or something like that?
Yeah, him and his brother and a guy, Paul Zigo. They were the 3 of the 4 hosts, and they just decided to go do their own thing. They were done.
So they just gave up and like, here, Billy, here's a podcast.
Yeah, the guy that stayed back, Ben, was the host, and it was either he was going to go back to working a day job, or him and.
So yeah, let me give you a little bit of backstory as well to this, and like just a little bit of backstory to how I came to know of Wings of Redemption. So I really didn't know Wings of Redemption prior to Lolcow Live, and that is mainly because I watched Boogie. I watched Keemstar, and they were the main reasons why I came to watch Lolcow Live. So, Wings and Boogie did a fight. They did a boxing match. It was one of the heaviest boxing matches in history. 2 extra heavyweights pitting against each other to fight it out to the death. Not quite to the death, but you know what I mean. Anyway, so you have Wings of Redemption fighting Boogie. Spoiler, Boogie lost because he failed to pretty much throw a punch. But yeah, gotta commend both of them for stepping in the ring, because again, it is always like a big achievement to actually go through that training camp and then go to actually, get in the ring in front of thousands of people live in person and fight it out. Like that is a huge achievement within itself. So yeah, they fought it out, and then obviously they were on Lolcow Live at the same time, and that happened. So I kind of went from that fight. That is when I started watching Boogie, and then I also found out he was on the podcast Lolcow Live. So I started watching Lolcow Live. I went back and watched the camping trip, and that's when I started to see, the main part of Wings of Redemption, and then all of the IRL stuff they ended up doing as well. So yeah, that was all like my introduction to Wings, and then my big introduction was when he went to Fat Camp and all of that kind of stuff went down. He actually ended up leaving. He actually ended up, kind of leaving, kind of being kicked out, but he pretty much got fired off live for the fight that broke out during Fat Camp. And as you can see in the thumbnail of this video or stream, that fight was obviously between Keemstar and Wings of Redemption. And then there was that kind of I'd say iconic moment, but at the same time, it looks pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie. That moment where Wings of Redemption's wife Kelly comes in to try and stop Geordie Wings from getting to Keem, and she just pretty much gets body slammed into the table, which still to this day pretty crazy clip, I'm not gonna lie. I remember that clip then started going everywhere. I think there was the only clip that I remember seeing after that that was like LCU related was the one where Boogie2988 proposed to his girlfriend Desi and fell into a pond off of a dock. That is again a story for another stream. I think that clip actually went viral, if I'm going to be completely honest. But yeah. Crazy clip. Again. But yeah. The point being is that I really started finding out about Wings through the LCU. And, all in all, throughout all of his streams, I like Wings of Redemption. I think he's a pretty cool streamer, YouTuber, and I know he pretty much got his popularity from raging and all of that kind of stuff, and throwing controllers and making controllers disintegrate into tiny shards of plastic. But yeah, that is my introduction to Wings of Redemption, and that also covers the incident in which he got kicked out from the LCU previously. And after a while, Wings went and did some anger management stuff. Keemstar ended up thinking, okay, we need to bring him back in here. Let's bring the trio back together. And I'm not going to lie, I hadn't watched Lolcow live very much throughout that time, but I started watching it again when Wings came back. So just to show how big a part of this podcast Wings was, I wasn't that interested when it was Boogie, Keemstar, and you had Rastov come on, you had this other guy, CD-ROM, whatever, that guy came on. It just didn't hit in the same way. And then they're like, fuck it, we're gonna bring Wings of Redemption back. Yeah, glad that they did. But unfortunately, from what I know, Wings wasn't really enjoying it. He wasn't enjoying it very much, and he was just kind of trying to fake the enjoyment for the camera, and it wasn't in his heart. So I'm pretty sure that's why he quit this second time. But we're gonna find out.
We're gonna rock the show. They didn't just give it to him. They had to go to court. They had to do litigation. They had to fight for everything. I think the guys that left got a pretty good let's payout. The Amazing Atheist made more money after the podcast after he left than I ever did. So
how much money was that podcast worth?
I think they were making about $250,000 around there each.
That's crazy numbers. That is crazy numbers for a podcast, I'm not gonna lie. $250,000 each. That is some fair numbers. Just gonna say.
At its height, I think, $500,000 or something. I don't know exactly, but it was definitely up there.
God damn, I should have took PKA to court. Shit.
So, for context as well, Wings was also on another podcast before Lolcow Live called PKA, and yeah, he ended up leaving that or something like that. Or I can't remember the exact specifics of that, but yeah.
When I got on the show, we were getting like 6,000 concurrent viewers, and I was there for almost 10 years. And you could see it just slowly dwindle.
Where was it where was it at when you closed the doors?
We were doing like 4 a.m. Lolcow numbers.
Oh, like 600 or something like that?
On a good day, it was probably like 300. You know, it was not good. It was still.
It became frenzy.
Still, 300 viewers for a channel like mine would be nice. I'm not gonna lie. 300 concurrent would be definitely nice. But yeah, I'm like Lolcow Live pulls like 4,000 to 5,000, sometimes like 6,000 views. So like concurrent. So that's like, I think they were doing just a couple of thousand around this time.
Season 7.
Yeah, it was still somehow pretty lucrative though. We had a good fan base. That's why it kept running. The fans were just there, so it was.
So how big of a hit did it leave when the Amazing Atheists left? How big of that hit was it? Was it 6,000 instantly to like 2?
I think it went down to like 4 or 5.
I feel like this stream is going to be mainly them talking about things. Like if we're fast forwarding through here, they grab other people on. Boogie comes in a little bit later on, so that could get interesting. Yeah, so this looks like it could be quite an interesting stream.
I guess it slowly would drop down. 3,000 was like there for like a year or two after, and then there was like a problem with the channel, and we had to go to a different channel. When we came back, it was like 1,500, and that would happen here and there. So it just dropped.
Okay, let me pull in a little bit.
We have got to the point where
let me pull into the stream a little bit, see if we can get through some of this stuff. Because we're already half an hour in. Shit's crazy. So, let's get right up to speed. So they're reacting to some clips here. Let's go back.
I think comparing him to Twiggy, I think Twiggy was a lot looser than Scooter is. Scooter's very good at what he does.
I'm not gonna lie. Okay, let me say this. So Scooter is on Lolcow Nuts, and Lolcow Nuts is a show. The main two hosts are Scooter and Albert, or as Keemstar likes to call him, Elbert, or Elbeard, or whatever he likes to call him. But yeah. So yeah, that's the show premises. And I'm not gonna lie, at first I wasn't convinced about this show. I was like, okay, Keemstar's just announced 2 brand new shows in the LCU. He's called it Lolcow Nuts and Lolcow Balls. You can probably tell why I was thinking, like, what is Keem thinking about when he's coming up with the show. Anyway, I look a little bit more into the show, and Savage and Roxy end up doing this whole like E-date thing on the show. So I have a little look at it, and yeah, it was fun. It was entertaining to watch. Nevertheless, I recently got back into watching Lolcow Nuts, and I'm not gonna lie, that show is actually quite fun to watch now. For those who don't know, there is 2 other hosts who are mothers who are in the LCU. One of them is Tina D, and the other is Gidgy, or as I like to call her, Gidgety. But yeah, basically, Tina and Gidgy have kids that are in the LCU, and Elbert is Tina's child, and Scooter is Gidgety's child. So, just a little bit of background with that. But yeah, like, I'm gonna be honest, I'm really starting to like Scooter and Albert a lot more now as like entertainers, and you know, their part in the LCU. They are putting on a good show, and yeah, they're definitely doing a really good job of making entertaining content. For example, I ended up watching part of Nuts today. Can't really watch it live because it's at a weird time slot at about 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. UK time. So not really the ideal time slot for a show like that, but nevertheless, I can always watch the video on demands, which again, if you miss this live stream or you miss part of the live stream, shout out to everybody watching this through the VODs. Appreciate you all. But yeah, I always catch the video on demands again after the stream came out, and Elbert pretty much jumped off his front porch, which was very high. We're talking about like a good, high jump. So he jumped off there, and they also put him in a wheelie bin. So one of them bins with the wheels on, and started wheeling him around, or tried to wheel him around. Yeah, that is the madness that goes on Lolcow Nuts. But I love it. I'm really starting to enjoy that show, and Scooter and Elbird are really, really killing it on the show. So just a little background to who Scooter is.
I think he learned from his mom and perfected it.
Man's is exhausting.
All right.
So this, for anybody out there who's watching, I can't read the chat right now. This is what happened on Bus last night. This is
that's another show in the LCU, Lolcow Short Bus. So Scooter's on that show as well, I think.
Where like Scooter decided to kind of like break ties with Bus, and I don't know why.
Fuck me.
Sweetie, whatever happened to you getting
Yeah, because I think Scooter's on live now, from what I know, or like he's definitely got a part in live, definitely doing a lot, because live's kind of up in the air at this point in time. Nobody really knows what's going on with live at this point. But yeah, Scooter is for somebody who's kind of new to hosting, relatively new. He was pulling. He was doing a lot with Nuts. He was doing Lolcow Bus and live at one point, I think. So yeah, a lot of different things, and definitely put a lot of work into the LCU.
microphone, by the way?
Me and Rastop, he helped me fucking figure out what was wrong. Like, I kept reordering it as a bundle, as like all the things together. Like, whenever I tried to like separate it, the computer and the monitor, it eventually did get here. And whenever I looked back and seen that there was like all the other stuff wasn't ordered, and I tried to do it again, and it immediately said that it was fucking canceled or whatever. And then I did it again, and then it would say like it would have a delivery date and all that, and then it just wouldn't come. It was like that over and over again. Like, I had to fucking buy this mic. I had to send my family to buy this fucking mic like 3 weeks ago. It was like over $200 because I just needed a mic because the other one like shit out on me.
But like whenever,
I've been needing it.
But you did order a
Okay, I'm guessing they're talking about the setups.
microphone, correct?
Delivered, and then it'll say canceled.
All right, let's stop it right here.
Yeah.
Hats off to KO.
I guess they're talking about setups and stuff. Like obviously you gotta have like a decent streaming setup for it. I mean, I definitely try with mine. Mine's kind of like put together. I'm not gonna lie. Got the laptop with the webcam streaming right here, and then we got the microphone, which I had to get right here, the external microphone, which it looks cool, lights up, all that kind of stuff. Didn't really get it for the looks or whatever. It ended up being a pretty cheap mic, but had some like good reviews or whatever. So I was like, you know what, let's give it a try. Realistically, I only needed a mic back then to hop up on shows, because at that time I was like, okay, I want to hop up on Nerds and Milkers. So I ended up hopping up on them two shows, and I needed a microphone for it. So we ended up going out, grabbing a microphone, and it's worked pretty well for the streaming ever since. So that is that is pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. So let's continue.
There's two things I've noticed here, Billy. Two things I've noticed. One, Rastov had this already in hand because Rastov is running the stream, so he's bringing it up to show it off. That could be two scenarios. That could be like, all right, we're gonna have to bring the Scooter comes to Rastov, be like, hey, here's a screenshot. I want you to show this when we bring it up. I want to try to catch her into a lie. Or
was it Scooter sharing screen or Rastov? I missed that. So I thought
I don't
Scooter,
know.
I'm pretty sure for all the screenshots and clips and everything, they have like an entire docket team back there to do all that kind of stuff. So they have a docket team that pull all the relevant stuff, the relevant clips, all the relevant screenshots, all of that kind of stuff, and then bring it to the show. Unlike this show, which doesn't have a docket team or anything, we just got it solo. I pull the clips beforehand, and we just run and gun with it for 2 hours, and hopefully make a good show. So yeah, that is that, I guess. But yeah,
that is a good question.
I
I
thought
might be
Scooter
fucking
shared
ass
it.
backwards.
So
Let's
3
see.
weeks ago, it was like over $200 because I just needed a mic because the other one like shit out on me.
But like
I've
whenever,
been needing it.
but you did order a microphone, correct?
Yeah, I reordered it again, but I'm trying to show.
it
Hard
is
to
Scooter.
tell.
It is Scooter. It says in the bottom corner.
Okay, yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So like, ignore everything I just said.
Actual probable is
Let's bring that.
because in a couple days.
Let's bring it up. It goes.
All right.
I looked at what got bought, and the only thing I got bought was the monitor and the computer. Could you show me an audio adjuster box thing and a mic that could work better than mine that would be cheaper that I could buy? Because since I thought it was my money, I never ordered the rest I thought I didn't need. Don't tell nobody.
So she was talking to somebody about not getting the equipment.
okay, I'm kind of a little bit lost with this part. Let's try fast forward to some more interesting stuff, because I don't want to really know about the mics and setups and all of that kind of stuff. So let's try and get to something a little bit more interesting. Okay, we got Boogie who calls in right here. Let's have a look and see what Boogie has to say.
And they were tied on you. Yeah.
I don't know if he's calling in from Disneyland or whether he's finished the Disneyland stuff now.
Yeah, how are they not tight on you?
They did not go on me. I bought them for the trip and didn't bother testing them out. I thought they were my size. They were your size.
Dude, I bought.
Also, one thing that I do want to say was thinking about the shows and stuff like that and all of the different LCU shows. There are some brand new shows on the LCU that they're testing out on their new B circuit. So I was actually thinking for a stream of going ahead and looking at a couple of these different shows, seeing what each show is about, and then maybe even just like watching a little bit of that show on stream. That is kind of the plan for a potential stream next week. And yeah, I've got a couple of plans for next weekend. Hopefully they work out, and yeah, that's kind of good, because I've got a couple of little plans. I need to contact some people about these plans as well, because one of them is like a potential little collaboration, so that could be interesting. But yeah, there we go. I do need to pull a couple of things for that though, so we gotta figure that one out.
I bought some shit off Amazon. I go, they said there were 6XL. I'm like, this got to work. I just string them on, right? Didn't even get up my fucking thighs.
Yeah. Boogie, just saw your message. Miss you, guy. Are you live from Disneyland?
I'm live from Southern California. We went down to get a Blues banana from the Blues banana stand, the original one from Arrested Development.
Well, there's
and now
always
I'm stuck
money
in LA
in the
traffic.
There's
And
always money in the banana stand.
Boogie calling in, stuck in traffic. Okay, well, what could potentially go wrong here? I wonder.
Boogie?
Trust me, there was. Dude. Look, I'm calling in to say a couple of things. We were at the beach there in Balboa Island, and there was a house up on a cliffside, and the house had an infinity pool, probably bigger than my house by quite a bit. bigger than the modular mansion.
Okay, Boogie is doing one of his stories now, so this could go either way. He's talking about that he's seeing some very, very nice mansions in Southern California, which is what you can probably expect for California.
By quite a bit. Had an infinity pool on the edge of the cliff that overlooked the marina where the guy surely had a yacht. And all I could think when I looked at that was, I want to watch this guy live stream a suicide. I hate him for having that house.
You see where this goes. You see where this goes with the Boogie 2988 stories. It goes from 0 to 100 like that every single time.
I hate everyone that lives in Southern California. I hate you all. Your houses are...
This shit 0 to 100 real quick.
Too nice. You have taken so much money and invested it. Give it to me. Give me the money. Why are you keeping it?
I would hate to know what Boogie 2988 would do with the money. I guess we might find out.
You're a prick. I hate this place.
Boogie, what would you do with it?
Such a bad...
Yeah, what would you do with this money?
Get an infinity pool in Arkansas, I guess. It'd be better when...
Okay.
Whatever the fuck they're doing with it.
No, we've given you money before, Boogie. You decided to buy crypto with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we remember that. We remember that quite well. Boogie's crypto line. Yeah, remember that one quite well.
That's true. And also magic cards. And hookers. But no, listen. We were at Disneyland last night. We had to take the bus back to our hotel. And we're waiting in line for the bus. And there's this 16-year-old girl flirting with her 16-year-old boyfriend. And she says, yeah, that's the problem. Like, my house is so big, I never even know when anybody's home. Like, I have to check 2 or 3 different places to make sure that nobody's even home. But, like, I never see my parents. The house is too...
That is correct. That's probably California for everyone. Yeah.
Big. I want to watch her live stream her suicide when she turns 18.
Bro. Boogie is coming out with the most crazy the most crazy random shit. I'm surprised that YouTube didn't flag that shit down or something like that, because YouTube are usually quite quick to get on that kind of stuff. But I can imagine when Keemstar found out about this, there's some lengthy phone call made that
Boogie,
there were 2 more years
streaming on you.
I don't think Keemstar would be particularly happy with the channel getting some kind of community strike or whatever.
YouTube, right? You're not just like calling in, shooting the shit. This ain't a 3-way call.
We're live.
I'm talking about their Minecraft account. I'm talking.
This is funny. Whenever they talked about something a little bit darker or something a little bit on the edgy side, they always allude to the Minecraft account, because I guess talking about death in Minecraft is fine if you allude to it being in Minecraft. I don't know exactly how that works, but it works for them, so it's gonna work for me as well.
What about their Minecraft accounts? Obviously.
Are you drinking and driving currently?
Okay, this is interesting that Wing said this, because pretty much, and I'm not sure if this is confirmed that it was like fully figured out, but I'm pretty sure Billy the Fridge, co-host right here, had a little bit of a scandal. Surprise! Somebody in the LCU had a scandal. So the scandal, it was concerning potentially drinking and driving, and I know that it definitely pissed a lot of people off. But yeah, I feel like people have kind of forgiven Billy after this a little bit, and yeah, I do think that Billy has been not like fully forgiven, but like there were people who didn't like him due to that, due to their personal life experiences and all that have kind of forgiven him a little bit more now. For that, which, yeah, there's no excuse for drinking and driving, but yeah. So that was the whole thing.
No, I wish I was. Dude, LA traffic is everything
Boogie, I wish I was. Okay.
you think it is. I'm 8 miles. 8 miles from Knott's Farm. Guess how long it says it's going to take me to get 8 miles?
1 hour and
40
25 minutes. Not that bad. That's not
8 miles in 40 minutes. I mean, it could be worse. It could be a lot worse. Like, especially if you're in standstill traffic, which, again, let me tell you a little story. So that actually happened to me once. I was in standstill traffic, and oh my god. Yeah. Of course, it was like one of the hottest days of the year when this happens as well. This doesn't happen on like the coldest day of the year or any other time in between where it's a nice, a nice temperature, which is bearable. But this, of course, happens on one of the hottest days of the year. The sun is beaming down through the windows, and we're sat in traffic. And it is terrible. The air conditioning on the car is not 100%. We're just sat here roasting to death in the car like a chicken. Not fun. And I can't imagine it would be fun in the California heat as well. I don't know, was it September? Okay, it might be a little bit better in September. I'm sure Boogie has working air conditioning, so...
Not bad.
40. I want to die. I want to live stream my Minecraft account getting deleted. Dude, I love the theme parks out here. I'm so glad we went to Disney, and now we're going to Knott's tonight. We're gonna get the hell spooked out of us, and that's, I ain't never come back to Southern California.
I wish he would have streamed that on his channel. Like, I wish he would have done a stream either on his channel. I don't know whether he logged it or something like that. I don't know if that whole thing's happened. But yeah, it would have been so cool. Like, imagine they did a stream where they went to Disneyland and like Boogie was at Disneyland or something like that. Or like, that would have been a fun stream. That would have been that. Yeah, I would have watched that. That would have been fun. Or even if they all went to Disney, that would be kind of a fun stream to do. But yeah.
Ain't never.
You just have to figure out the whole internet situation with the IRL stuff, because that is like one of the main problems with IRL streams is just not being able to guarantee a good Wi-Fi connection, especially in like California, America, whatever. I've heard that the Wi-Fi can be a little bit ropey in the cities, so. It depends. Like I've heard some people say that the cities, the Wi-Fi is like really, really good and you get it there. But I've heard some people say that just because of the sheer amount of people using it and stuff, it can be a little bit ropey. But yeah, I've definitely seen a lot of people like IRL stream and stuff, and I think there are ways of trying to get around it and ensure that like there's like maybe you can get like a booster or something like that. But yeah, definitely one of the challenges of IRL streaming.
Why do people live like this?
They got infinity pools, Boogie.
Yeah, it's not worth it. You can build an infinity pool anywhere.
Infinity pools, like, there's nothing else to the infinity pools. They just look cool. Like that's the funny thing with like an infinity pool, that like they are built to just look cool. Like, because it looks like the water goes off the edge, but it doesn't actually go off the edge. It's an illusion. There's an illusion to it all.
I like how the clearest part of your call was when you were doing the girl voice. Everything else was muffled. The girl voice came into play, and it was clear as day.
See, this is kind of why I like Billy the Fridge. Like, he comes out with he comes out with some good lines.
Well, maybe I should just talk like her all night, because my dad's house is so big. Like, oh my God. And like, I don't even know if my mom's home. I haven't seen my mom in 4 years.
S1K! Get that gifted in.
I have a bunch of millionaire friends, and I have at least one billionaire acquaintance. Um,
Damn, Wings of Redemption got them connections.
they're all fucking weird. Like once you reach that like multi-million-dollar status, they're just fucking weird. They don't have concept of money anymore.
Yeah, I think that is like, I think that genuinely is like a thing, because you kind of lose like you kind of lose, like, obviously you don't know this personally, but I would imagine that you would like lose the concept of like how much the value of money, because you become like desensitized to it or whatever, which is kind of crazy to think.
Like they don't understand like the single plight of like the average man. I bet you right now, if you ask Keemstar how much a banana costs, he couldn't tell you.
Okay. I can just imagine that. Somebody asked Keemstar how much a banana costs, and he could be like $20 or something like that.
No.
Well,
No.
Boogie couldn't tell you either. He gets them sent to his house for free.
Oh yeah, by the way, that was the thing. There was a time where Boogie 298 was getting sent bananas to his front door. Like, they were sending him bananas. Yeah, crazy.
That's true.
Boogie's had about 900
Hey, I paid
free
$4.99
bananas.
for a frozen banana today.
Yeah, I saw that big
Worth
chocolate-covered
every penny.
diesel.
Yeah, I definitely want to make sure you guys had that to make fun of.
So Boogie, I got a question for you. I've driven in LA traffic before, and I want to see if your experience is the same as mine. Back in 2010, we flew out to Los Angeles, and being a bunch of other YouTubers, and me being one of the few.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure most of the OG YouTubers have been to like LA, California type area. I mean, to be fair, I see like LA and California as like one big blob on the map of America, because being overseas, you kind of just blob everything together. So you like see New York, you just see New York and you just think it's a giant city when it's actually a state, but then you have the actual city within the state. So then, and then you have like different parts of the state. So it's like, it is kind of crazy from outside looking in. But yeah, my point is that a lot of these people would have been to VidCon, which was obviously, well, I think they still do it actually, but it's like pretty much an event for YouTubers. It's the Comic-Con for YouTubers, essentially. Like a convention where people can go meet YouTubers and things like that. I know a bunch of different YouTubers who have been to VidCon. You have Boogie, who was like a yearly contender to VidCon. You had Michael, who went, I believe, at some point as well. Like McJuggernuggets, Billy the Fridge. I don't know, Keemstar went, but yeah, a ton of different YouTubers have been to VidCon. Like it's kind of like a staple of the YouTube realms.
Few people that don't drink. I got designated as the designated driver. Like, you got the keys to the rental wings. So like we had this fucking Escalade XL, like it's like the big suburban Escalade, right? And so like I got like 8 motherfuckers in it. There's Blade in it. There's like Woody, White Boy, like all the who's who of the YouTube game back in the day in Call of Duty. And I'm driving on the interstate. And I'm going like 70. And motherfuckers are honking at me, telling me to get the fuck out of the way because they want to blare down the road at 100 and
I can just imagine this. I can actually just kind of imagine this.
10. I was like, God damn.
I've mostly driven during the day, and nobody's doing 110 right now. Everybody's doing 10. We're doing 10 and
very, very different. Very, very different scenarios with Wings there. Somehow he could fly through the traffic, but Boogie is stuck in the traffic.
55
on the West Coast. If you can go 100, go 100, because you're going to be going 10, like Boogie said, down in LA. So people just speed when they can, because it's very rarely they can get through that traffic.
They have like a need for speed. They're stuck in traffic so much that they just, as soon as they get the opportunity, they put the foot down on the gas and fly through. I can kind of see that happen. I'm not gonna lie.
Boogie.
This is not an exaggeration. This is not an exaggeration.
Oh, okay. That's not too bad. That is not like, yeah, like it's slow. It's slow, but I've seen a lot worse in the UK. I've been stuck in way worse traffic, like where you're physically stopped, physically stopped on the road, and it's hell because you're like stop start. It's terrible.
I really
That's not
want you to
that bad.
understand.
That's not
30 miles an
We're at
hour.
55.
I've been in so
I'm
much
doing
worse.
20.
You're doing 20.
55. Yeah.
I have
Look
been
like you're getting past there.
I've been deadlocked there on that road. Sucks.
Yeah, and I'm not supposed to drive, film while I'm driving, but guess what?
Hand it,
20, I think
hand
it'll
it
be
to
okay.
your daughter.
Boogie, could you please maybe do something like videotape paint drying? We're live right now. That would be better. Paint drying, Boogie.
Well, I don't have any wet paint.
Oh yeah. Also, I don't think he's gonna paint like a square on his window, just like the windshield of the car, like just paint on like a square or something like that, and just film it dry.
Why don't you piss yourself for us?
I will do that. I do want to go back to the clothing topic.
Hold the
about
fuck up.
fat
Hold
guy
the fuck up.
clothes.
What car are you in?
They gave me I rented literally a hybrid.
Oh, okay.
They
I was
decided
gonna
to
say,
give me instead.
oh, you flew. Okay, I've never expected you to fly.
Yeah.
I was like,
there was no way I could.
red.
It was 22 hours.
Yeah, that's one thing about with Americans too. They drive like stupid amounts. Like in the UK, if you want to drive from the very top, or even just like if you want to drive from, say where I am, like a little bit above the mid of the UK, and you want to drive all the way down to the bottom, it's gonna take you about 4 hours, about four to 5 hours. The amount of times I've heard Americans say, "Oh, I did a cross-state drive, and it took 15 hours of driving." I'm like, that shit is crazy. That is crazy. Driving 15 hours, crazy, and probably very expensive to do with like fueling up and all of that kind of stuff. Like, but it's like that's how they do it. Instead of hopping on a plane and having like an intercontinental or whatever you want to call it. I don't know the exact term, but yeah, an in-state, like state-to-state travel, but via the plane. They choose to drive it most of the time, which is kind of crazy. It's like driving the entire length of the UK and then back in like one journey. Yeah, crazy amounts.
Hours of driving to LA. There ain't no way. But I rented a hybrid, and then they gave me a Toyota SUV, and I am in love with it. I want to buy it. But
the RAV4 or the Grand Highlander?
RAV4, yeah.
See, Wings is very much into his cars. He's definitely a car guy, like especially trucks as well. Like, I also feel like he knows very much all of the terminology, and he knows his shit. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, I'm surprised you picked that out. That's nice.
RAV4s are nice. Go buy a RAV4, Boogie.
I want to say, we were talking about fat guy clothing earlier. I've upgraded from King Size Direct. I'm small enough now to where I could just get Amazon basic sweats. Okay,
so yeah, just a little bit of context of this. Boogie is currently on like a weight loss journey, essentially. Like he is actually doing well. Like he's actually doing well, making progress at losing weight. And this is something that he's wanted to do for a very, very long time. Of course, he had the gastric bypass surgery to drop from his original weight down to what he sort of was, and then he ended up putting some weight back on, and then he's basically worked to lose as much as he can do. And I think he's at the lowest he has been since like high school or something like that, which is genuinely crazy, a crazy achievement to do. So yeah, that's kind of crazy. But yeah, that he's able to go, because like pretty much after you get a certain size, you have to go to stores in America that are like plus size stores, which I've definitely heard about in America. I don't know whether they have equivalents over here or whether you've just got to order all your shit online or something like that. I don't know, but apparently that's the thing.
$14.99, and boy, it's nice.
You've earned this brag, Boogie. Wings and I don't like it.
Yeah, I have.
So I got questions
Did
about
you know
the Zep Bound Boogie.
Yeah.
How much longer do you think you have till you get off of it?
There's a share of 28.
Okay, so yeah, Boogie is currently in traffic. Fun.
Pretty much should be lifelong, because I feel like I'm off of it right now. My last shot was a week and a half ago. I could probably eat as much as I wanted to right now. I'm still not really hungry, but I think when it kicks in, it's really going to kick in again. I'm going to eat like a son of a bitch. So I don't know.
Doesn't it have like long-term effects if you overuse it?
I'm sure my weight loss doctor will tell me if and when we get to that point, right?
Okay.
I don't know what the side effects would be, honestly.
Boogie.
Hopefully nothing.
Can you and Desi get a giant plate of spaghetti and eat it all until you get down to the last noodle and then nuzzle a meatball towards her and then kiss like it was Lady and the Tramp?
Oh, Billy the Fridge. comes out with the most random of randomness.
Oh,
Yeah.
we will. We will do that the next time we're near spaghetti. Going back to the clothing, though, did you know Champion, the champ?
I love how he brings it back. I love how he like briefly addresses that and then brings it back. He's like, back to the clothing.
Champion brand is making 5X clothes now, and it is the funniest thing in the world to see a big fat guy wearing Champion outfits. And like, yeah, I'm a.
When you get to like 5X, at that point it's like a parachute. Like at that point you can attach some strings. You could like make some holes in the hoodie or whatever you want to buy, and you could jump out of a plane and use it as a parachute at that point. Like it gets to a point where it is crazy, but like it's definitely cool that they are offering that, because some brands will only offer it to a certain amount or whatever. But yeah, cool that they are offering it. But yeah, I guess I don't know.
Champion, a champion of what? Putting Taco Bell out of business because you ate everything? Like what are you the champion of?
There's pie eating champions, Boogie.
There is actually speed eating champions and like eating like sport, like doing it. People who do that shit is like they call it sport, but it's not really. It's more of just like a competition. And there's people who do that shit for like a living or what? Not even a living. I don't know if they do it for a living, but they do it as like a thing.
That's true. He's the disability champion. He's good at just existing on. That was me for a really long time too. So
I think this is the worst episode of Live we've ever done.
It is.
I'm not gonna lie. It's been kind of content. Like Boogie came in and mixed it up a little bit. Had that three host connection. You've got people bouncing off each other. It's working a bit better now that he's back in it.
The drizzling shit.
Like my mind is somewhere completely else, and like Boogie's over here wearing champion clothes.
Guys,
where? Why is that? Where's your mind, Jordy? What's going on?
You know where it is, Boogie.
Let's get into it. I know.
You know where it is.
I know.
Maybe this is Wings starting to really like get to this point where he's like considering quitting. That's what I'm getting from this.
I'm gonna say it.
Yeah.
You really think you're gonna quit?
Yep.
Okay, so that's something that I didn't expect on the stream. We're getting an actual admission from Wings. He wants to quit. and he's thinking about doing it, and he's pretty much there at this point in the story.
Man, I don't know if we should have this conversation publicly or not.
Yeah.
Like, look,
I don't know. I'm just.
It is a shame, but like I feel like it got to this point, like it got to this point where Keem's gone from the show now, Wings has gone from the show now. I believe Boogie has as well. I've been told that Boogie is gone now, but you know, between the three of them, it gets to a certain point where the energy isn't there. The energy of the show isn't there, and I think that's the point when they gotta look at recasting for the show, which is gonna be a difficult one. It's gonna be very, very difficult to recast live because it has been Boogie, Keem, and Wings for so long. They built the image of the show, and it's a bit like in the UK. So in the UK, we had this show called Top Gear, and it was a car show, but nobody really watched it for the car stuff. Like, nobody really gave a shit about the cars. Maybe like 5% of the audience watched it for the cars, but most people watched it for the chemistry of the hosts. And when the head host of that show got fired and basically took the other two hosts with them, they had to recast, and the show failed. Like, it failed, and they had to recast it again and again, and they finally got to something that worked, and then it kind of flopped. So it worked a bit, but it didn't work as well as the original. And I guess that's the thing. Like, you built this show on Wings, Boogie, and Keemstar, so changing the changing the hosts of the show is gonna be quite detrimental to the show, I think. I can't see it working as well without that trio there, and Keemstar would have to pull some crazy shit to recast the show and have it work. Whether that's getting some bigger names on there, or I don't even know if you can do really, like, if it would still work, but like, you'd need some big names on there for a start, or like people who, the audience really, really wants to see.
I was miserable before Fat Camp, and when I got fired at the end of Fat Camp, it was almost like a blessing. And I didn't want to come back. I honestly didn't.
But then Keemstar. Keemstar then, I believe, talked to him and convinced him to come back.
And I came back, and because Tommy asked me to come back, and it's like...
Oh, it's Tommy. Okay, that's interesting.
And then like the show got worse, the money got worse, and then like Keem left.
Yeah, I feel like there was such a big gap in between. Like, I could definitely see what Wings is saying here, because you had the whole Fat Camp stuff, and that's like elevate, and it goes up and up and up, and then after that you have that plateau where everything drops a little bit because you don't have Wings there and all of that kind of stuff, and then gradually the show started dropping a little bit and a little bit. Of course, like, the viewers were still good. I'm not gonna lie, the donations and all of that kind of stuff, that was still good. It still functioned as a show. It just didn't have the same energy that the show used to have. And a lot of people were saying this, and a lot of people have said this. But yeah, it just didn't have that same energy.
And it's like, this isn't fun. I don't have fun doing this.
It's the grabber.
So yeah, that is I guess that's kind of our explanation. I do have a second video that I will actually be showing in terms of this. So let me just get through these ads right here, because obviously they're gonna do non-skippable ones, aren't they? Oh wait, here we go. Let's skip this shit. But yeah, for this whole thing, I do have a clip where we can pretty much show. I believe it is a clip of Wings on his own channel, and he like fully addresses it because he got some like comment or something, or like a super chat asking about it, and he like fully addressed it on his channel. We will be watching that as well.
I'm fucking miserable every day. I wake up. It's like I look at live and I'm like, fuck, I gotta do 2 hours of that shit tonight.
I can imagine just how defeating it would be to be like, you're trying to make this show really, really good. You're trying to put your stuff into it. You've got Boogie, who's fucked off to Disneyland. He's gone. He isn't quite present there. You've got Keemstar, who isn't there because he wants to focus on other stuff. So, I can't blame him, but at the same time, he isn't there. Like, so I can't really blame Wings at the same time, because like, you got a show which is like, which is not doing as good as it once was. The money wasn't the same and all of that kind of stuff. So you're kind of like trying to wrestle it almost. It's a tough position.
And I don't want to do it. I'd much rather do nothing.
I know.
It's like
I was saying this in our private conversation. The show always worked best when Keem was here, because Keem's the bully and we're the Lolcows, right? And so we had somebody.
I think it works. Yeah, I do to an extent. I think it does work the other way around. Like, you got Keem, who was very, very much doing that at the beginning, but then there's also times where Boogie and Wings would fight back, and they would do something to get back at Keemstar, and that would be entertaining equally as well. So you could also reverse the roles a little bit, change the roles around, and it still works very, very much the same. But it's just a dynamic. I think it's the dynamic between the three, and they have a good dynamic, which would make for a very, very funny show.
To push our buttons hard, and then you and I could react to our buttons getting pushed. And they didn't like yesterday's episode because you were a normal human being. They don't like today's episode because you're a normal human being. You're showing your normal side.
Today's episode is bad right now. Billy's trying his hardest to save it, but it's bad right now. Like, everybody knows it. That's why you jumped up here. It's like my head's not there. I'm stuttering.
I can't agree with that. Like, the show, it was off to a bit of a ropey start because it didn't particularly, flow as well as, it just didn't flow. It just wasn't flowing the same. If that whole thing makes sense. But yeah, it just didn't have that like oomph to it the live should do.
Not being my normal self, and it's just because of like, I don't know. I was just like it's miserable.
You can tell that he is really, really worn out with this. Like, you can tell that he tried to come back to this. He tried to make it work, but it just isn't working for him. And you know what? He's done this show for a long time. He's done this show for a couple of years at this point, I think. Like, there's how time's flying. Like, the show's been going on for a while now, and it is a show where you're going every single day. Like, the grind is insane on this show. Bar sometimes weekends, but sometimes they wouldn't even have weekends off. They'd be streaming on the weekends as well. So it is very, very much like a grind to do a show like this. Even like me doing a show like I'm doing right now, where I'm just reacting to things and giving my opinion and all of that kind of stuff. It takes energy to do a show like this, because you're always in front of the camera, you're always performing, you're always, trying to be as engaging as possible and making sure that the people are engaged in what you're trying to do. So I can imagine Wings is burnt out, but that's obviously been sped up by the fact that Boogie isn't there and that Keemstar isn't there, and that obviously speeds up the entire thing.
I'm miserable. And it's like,
Yeah,
I don't need to
I'm
be
sorry.
here. And like Gidgy said something the other day that resonated with me, where she's like, "You don't care about this. Why are you here? Everybody else would love to be where you're at." And yeah, you're right. I don't want to be here. I'm blocking somebody else from achieving their dream because this isn't my dream. Like I don't want to be a part of this network where like you pour Pepsi on your head and eat mustard and wear shock collars till the end of fucking time. It's just it's who I am as a person. It's like
That is quite like, yeah, the show has evolved. The show has changed over time, and I think that is kind of like quite a selfless, honorable thing to do, to admit. Like if it isn't for him, then obviously it isn't for him. If he prefers doing gaming streams, he prefers doing gaming streams. That's what he enjoys. And again, like, yeah, okay, maybe his gaming streams aren't particularly him talking and engaging all of the time, but it's something that he enjoys and something that his fan base obviously enjoys as well. Otherwise, he wouldn't put any viewers on his gaming streams, and he's there pulling a couple hundred viewers per his gaming streams, and obviously that's what his audience resonates with and enjoys watching. So, yeah, more power to him, like, genuinely.
this whole show for the last 2 years has been one ever long telethon, 24 hours of just constant, like, let's do the dumbest shit possible for money.
And you got to remember as well, like, these shows are very much planned. Like, the work isn't just on the show, and that's something that I found out with doing my own shows as well. There's a certain level of planning, time that goes into that planning. Then you've got to set up the stream. Setting up the stream can take anywhere up to an hour. You've got that extra hour. So say I'm doing a 2-hour stream today. Add another hour just to set up the stream. Add another couple of hours just to, think of an idea, pull a topic, pull the clips, get everything together, and then you have a stream. Get the thumbnail made. That's an entire thing. Figure out what you want on this thumbnail. That it's all part of doing the stream, and it all takes time. And people just see the 2 hours that they're on for, and like, people just see the end product. And I know this a lot as an editor myself, because I know how much hours goes into editing. I know how many hours and how much time goes into editing a video that could be 10 minutes long, but I put like 5 or 6 hours into editing this video. And I always say the best editing is the stuff that people don't pick up on. Your goal with editing, for example, sound design in like a movie or something, your goal with editing sound in that sound design is to make it as natural as humanly possible, so that people watching, the audience watching, don't pick up on the sound. If it sounds added, then you haven't done it well enough. And that's kind of just a little look into how much production goes into something like this. Again, sound design on a movie is very, very different to streaming, but equally there is a lot of work that goes into this. Even if you're planning an IRL stream, you've got to plan the IRL stream. You've got to figure out what you're going to be doing. If you're going places, you've got to figure out what time they open, what time they close, how much money it costs to do this thing, how you're going to get the money, how you're going to raise the money, and then it's a whole plethora of different things that makes up the streaming experience.
And I've always stated before, like, this is the show that faked cancer. Like, once it faked cancer, it got hot. It's never grown since. We went from 24,000 subscribers to 94,000, and we're still at 94,000.
They've actually dropped at the time of this right here. As you can see, Lolcow Live has dropped to 92.7.
Year and a half later.
People have actually left since Wings left, since Keemstar left, and now Boogie, I guess, is leaving. So it's like,
all we're doing is like moving the chairs around the Titanic. And I don't feel like it's growing. I don't feel like everything's doing. I think it's just constantly like, how much money can we siphon out of this? And it bothers me to my core to be a part of it. And I'm just not happy with it. It's not what I signed up for. I signed up for a podcast, and it became this.
Yeah, it definitely evolved over time, and I 100% get what Wings is saying with this. In terms of like that that it has evolved as a show. Like it was a podcast, but then they decided to do other things with it because that's what was entertaining to the fans.
Wanna play Incredible?
So yeah, it's kind of crazy. Let me see what's
I respect.
because I'm aware that we have 35 minutes left of this stream. I might go a little bit over, actually. I might do that. I might go over on the stream because we don't have any redirect. We don't have anything particularly to worry about on the stream in terms of redirecting to a video or whatever. I'm not going to be doing that. I might try and get a video out tomorrow, actually. So we might do the redirect tomorrow for a video. So definitely stick around with that. The last redirect actually went really, really well. It all worked flawlessly. I was really, really happy with how it went.
I can understand that. I genuinely do. Like I like.
Let's have a little look and see what's going on. So we got Boogie here. Who's this right here? Let's see when somebody else joins because they're going to be talking about this for a little bit.
Keemstar, you're live.
Well,
so this is what I'm saying. Like, Keemstar does make appearances in the show, but he's not there for the entire show. So it takes a little bit of pressure off Keem in terms of having to be on these shows. But it also gives him a little bit more time to go on to other shows and pop in to other shows and make an appearance there. So I actually do kind of agree with what he's doing as essentially the manager of the LCU.
No, the world is fucked up. But that's why we do the show. You know, we're the distraction to the fucked up world.
So true. Like, for me, you know, I work a lot. Like, you know, I literally, from the moment I get up in the morning to the moment I go to bed, I'm working. So if I can work, edit a video, and have Lolcow Live on in the background, and that helps me get my stuff done a little bit more, I can listen to something entertaining, have a little bit of like a you know, multitasking type of thing going on here. If I can do that and it works for me, then that is good. That is really, really good. And that's one of the reasons for why I enjoy these shows like this, you know, live. And the LCU is definitely getting better. There is definitely side shows that are doing a bit better now, and I am enjoying a lot more. For example, Queens. Lolcow Queens has came back. They've recasted Lolcow Queens with Savage and Tina. Obviously, Tina's obviously been on there. And that's an unlikely duo that I did not really think there was going to be much in that. I was not 100% sure, but I gave the show a watch. I gave it a try, and it works. It works really, really well. So that is actually what we're going to be doing tomorrow. We're going to be checking out the show. I'm going to be giving my thoughts and on all that on that show, so I'm going to save that for tomorrow. But that show's doing really, really well. At the moment, we have Lolcow Nuts, which is one that I kind of recently got into watching a little bit in the last couple of weeks, and you know, Albert and Scooter are doing a really, really good job on that one. And yeah, again, they're progressing with that, and I think it's really, really shaping up to be a good, entertaining show. Now that they're starting to add a little bit more structure into the show as well. So the episodes of the actual shows themselves are becoming a little bit more structured, and there's a little bit more to it. So they're definitely having a little bit of help behind the scenes with planning and getting them shows up on the rails. But ultimately, I think it's a good show. Like it's definitely working quite well at the time. And you know, I dip in and out of live depending on what's going on. But some live, some of live is good at the moment. Some of it is not so good. But recently, a couple of good episodes. I'm not gonna lie. So yeah.
And yeah, you know, you said, you know, I feel like we're trying to squeeze any dollar we can get out of this or whatever. I don't feel that way when I go live. You know, it is a thought. You do have to think about finances, but I'm more thinking of like, I want to have a good show because I know if I have a good show, it's gonna make donos. That's just one of the factors.
But also, like, personally, like, the reason why I enjoy this so much and why I enjoy kind of this live format is to make good entertainment, to make entertainment that people are going to be able to watch, whether they're watching it live right now, or whether they are, you know, watching it back in the video on demand. You know, whether they're doing each of them things, you know, my goal is to make a good show. And if I can make a good show and people like it, you know, they hit the like button, you know, by the way, smash like on the stream if you haven't already. But yeah, if they hit the like button, they enjoy the show and all of that fun stuff, that is when I think the show has been successful. And then the super chats, the memberships, and all of that kind of stuff is a bonus on top. You know, that stuff helps me to produce shows in the future. It helps me to, you know, break beyond this type of show right here. This show is currently what I can do, and yeah, it's fun looking over things, but it would be more fun to do an IRL stream. It would be more fun to sit in a different location and do something a little bit more interesting, a sleep stream or something like that. The sleep stream was my favorite stream out of all the streams that I've done so far. So that pretty much says quite a lot. But yeah, looking at that, like, all of that kind of stuff is the extra on top of the cake, where, you know, the base of the cake for me is just entertaining people. And if I can sit here and give my opinion and somebody can, you know, sit down and enjoy the show a little bit and just sit and enjoy it, then that's my job done. And I'm happy that I've been able to do that.
Yesterday, you got a lot of shit for not making any money, but I listened to the whole show. It was a great conversation.
Yeah, example A, like, okay, the show didn't make that much. They're saying it didn't make that much money. They probably made a decent amount of money, at least in my books, from a show. So they probably made a decent amount of money from my books from a show, but, like, the show was interesting to Keem. So I suppose that's the main thing.
And I even put in the Discord, you guys crushed it.
I've seen a lot of positive comments this week with you bringing what you do bring. Wings.
I feel like half of this is trying to, because I feel like if Wings left, which he did, spoiler alert, not much of a spoiler, but Wings leaving definitely damages live, and that is quite evident in the subscriber count, that people have tuned off because Wings is done with
Wings. You have that podcast microphone.
Here's the problem I have, though, is when you said, I just don't want to do this anymore, I'm not happy here. I know what that feels like. That's why I walked away.
Yeah.
Again, yeah, that's why Keem walked away. Like, he wasn't happy with the direction of everything going at the moment. And again, like, I guess Keem does have like a different way to look at it, because he does have to manage other shows as well. So that there is more to it than just like that show. But yeah, I definitely understand where Wings is going from here.
That's my problem. I can relate with you 100%.
Yeah, I'm not happy, man. It's not for me no more. And like, I feel like if I could sit here and block somebody that would rather be in my position, or I could sit here and just be miserable. I don't need the money.
So yeah, that's kind of like, it's kind of just Wings being honest there, and I got a lot of respect for the honesty. I'm not gonna lie, I've got a lot of respect for anybody who, you know, can sit on a camera and be, well, not sit on a camera, but sit on camera and be honest about something and just open about something. Like I have a huge amount of respect for anybody who can just sit down on camera and just honestly admit that, you know, maybe the show isn't for them and whatever. That you know, everybody has their own things that they enjoy more. For me, I'm quite enjoying streaming. So like we'll see where it goes, and we'll see how things go with this, because obviously, like, you know, I want to carry on streaming, but again, there are certain logistics to that. But yeah, just to sort of admit that's like the first step for Wings.
I do well for myself. I'll put it that way. I do well for myself.
Well, then we should plan the big Wings final stream tomorrow.
That's this one.
Yeah, the final stream never happened. This is the final stream of the Wings, dude.
No, just do tomorrow. Friday night. It's payday. Wings, you're gonna make money. It's the farewells.
I don't need the money. I'm leaving the server after I get in this call.
Oh man. So this is the farewell stream.
This is the farewell stream.
Well, let's make it a happy one then. If it is the farewell stream, let's talk about the fucking fun shit that happened. The good times. There had to have been some experience that you've had when you were here, which is a happy memory.
Yeah. I think Team did do like a little montagey thing in another stream. We're not gonna watch it. It's probably got some like music on it that I don't even know copyright. I think Keem actually uses more like AI music and stuff like that type of stuff. But yeah, we're not really gonna watch it, but we're gonna continue with this one.
I gained more weight.
You were killing yourself with that Ozempic. That year-old Ozempic you were on right before Fat Camp.
Oh, that was good.
You made yourself sick. Fuck.
Okay, let's try and fast forward it here, because Rastov comes in now, and see if Rastov brings anything new to the table, because we're kind of getting to this point where we're looping a bit. I'm going to extend the stream a little bit. I'm going to go over a little bit, because I feel like we do need to, but yeah.
When it comes to me, brother.
Absolutely amazing. I'm so glad we waited for that.
Go ahead. I'll mute myself.
Dude, this fucking hotspot motherfucker. Dude. Take your fucking ass down Space Mountain and jump.
Dude, that would be awesome if he did that. Can we get him to do that?
Well, look who's here to fucking check the pockets of all the corpse. Here's Rastov.
Yeah, Rastov here. Just take this now.
Fuck off, bro.
Just take this now. Dude.
Okay, so it's a long running joke in the LCU that Rastov likes to snatch the crowns. Let's just say that.
What?
By crowns, I mean the highest tier membership that the LCU has to offer.
Why? I was literally jumping up to like gas Wings up, because all I've seen all week is nothing but fucking positivity and like saying how good he is at this and like how glad that like he is that he's here and how glad they are that Boogie's not. It makes me sad that he wants to leave.
And Rastov would also like Boogie and Keem to know that if
it is like a bittersweet moment, because Wings has brought a lot to the table in terms of, you know, the show. So it is a bittersweet moment in that sense. Like, bitter because the show isn't the same without Wings of Redemption. That is a fact. It just isn't the same. But sweet because this is what he wants to do. This isn't him being fired from the show. He got his redemption. The Wings of Redemption got his redemption. And to me, I think it rounds off the ending a lot better.
If we need help on this show, he's available, right?
No.
Come on, bro.
Yes.
See?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I didn't jump up and say, yeah, man, I get it. I quit too for the same reason, bro. Like, what are we doing? This is the flagship. No one wants the ship to go down. We love this show.
The ship's not going to fucking go down, but the ship is getting a fucking makeover because it's just not going to be the same fucking ship.
I like Keemstar's mentality here, but the ship definitely declined. And maybe that is like part of it. Like, it's gonna go down before it goes up again. Like, and that's all down to Keemstar and who he wants to put on the show. There is a small chance that Live could essentially be reborn in a new light. But at the same time, I think it's going to be very, very difficult to do that job.
Dude, it's never going to be the same ship. I can't host a show every day for 2 hours anymore. I can't. I got to.
You don't have to.
I got to get the other shows up to where I need them to be, and
yeah, and he's very, very much focused on the rest of the LCU as a whole. Like, he is very, very, he's focused on getting all these other shows up so that the LCU as a whole can benefit.
Boogie, you're gonna have to step up, and you're gonna have to be a real host. And before you left, you were improving greatly, and you're gonna have to improve even more.
Yeah, that. Especially if it's gonna be the Boogie show, like.
And then we're gonna have to build a cast around you. That's what's gonna happen. I mean, that's what has to happen.
I'm up to it. I got it.
Shit, I'd throw Sweet Tea up on here, but she just scammed me. Fuck her.
I don't think she's good.
Fuck that bitch.
I think you.
Okay, let's have a look and see, because we need this to progress a little bit. Okay, Boogie puts his camera on here, so let's see if we can get any more entertainment from Boogie. Let's see what Boogie's doing here at this point. Okay, let's go.
About being in the Amazon Basics clothing game.
Okay, from that angle, no, you still look like a fat slob. No, he does.
Love how Keem keeping it brutally honest with that one.
But his face, he looks so much better.
I will say this though. Fair play to Boogie, because like with his face, like you can definitely see it. You can 100% see the changes and the differences within Boogie's face, and his body as well. Like you can like certain angle, you can really, really start to tell that he is like properly losing the weight.
Oh God!
Look on the bright side, Boogie. You'd never be able to drive a RAV4.
I feel better. I mean, I'm
weight.
hurting, but I feel better. Yeah, look at that. It's still tight.
Toyotas are not made for Americans. They're made for Japanese businessmen.
I drive
Rewind,
a Prius.
make sure you
see.
Rewind. Make sure you clip that. He doesn't have his hands on the wheel. Like, we need a whole nother driving scandal. That.
No, not another driving scandal. Not another one.
Last Billy one went good.
Keem, fat guys like us can steer with our gut.
Oh no!
Does your gut actually touch the steering wheel, Billy?
Usually, yeah.
Yeah. That would bother me so much if my gut was, every time I turned.
When I turn,
the gut's touching the
I really do steer my car with my knees. Like they're so fat and right there that I'm so stuck in my car. I use my knees. I'll just be like eating a sandwich.
Why don't you just get a bigger car?
This is not looking good for Billy the Fridge. This is, especially after what had already happened. This. Okay, we got somebody in the chat. So Boris, like 1 year late on Wings quitting. Why even make this live? I wouldn't even make a vid being covered like 500 times. Yeah, so Wings quit a second time. So that this why this is a little bit more recent in terms like, yeah, it was a little bit ago when Wings did quit the second time, but there's been so much different things going on that I can't go live every single day to like cover every single little bit. So we're going kind of like in order and jumping ahead a little bit and doing that sort of thing. So that's kind of what we're doing here. But I feel like it's an interesting one to cover, and I haven't really covered much Wings of Redemption stuff on this channel. So like I thought it'd be a little bit of a fun stream. What's your thoughts and opinions on Wings quitting again? Because yeah, be interesting to see what your actual thoughts are on this, and what it'd be interesting to see if what the viewers' thoughts on Wings quitting. Do you think it was a good idea for him to quit, or do you think he should have stayed on?
Phone drinking a beer and no, the Toyota C's good on gas mileage. The Prius is good on gas.
It can't be that good. Like carrying you around, it has to lose some.
I get like.
Giant says, "Okay, I understand. Good luck, bro. Never seen the channel before. No, you're welcome around here anytime. We welcome everyone around here, and yeah, no. Thank you for coming in and watching a little bit. This is kind of what we're doing at the moment. Like, ideally, I would like to do like more IRL kind of streams, and I would like to kind of progress, but just like financially, it doesn't make sense right now, and like, yeah, I can't physically do like a ton of IRL stuff at this point in time, but that's where I'd like to head with this whole thing. But for now, I just want to kind of like make streams, get streams out, but also get some stuff out that's interesting, and cover different lolcows and people within like the LCU is kind of like a hub for content like this. So that's kind of what I'm going for at this current time. But yeah, we could definitely evolve and change in the future. But yeah. Okay, so Giant said, I think Wings is a lazy I think Wings is a lazy sob. Not surprised. Also, Boogie just got fake fired today. I heard about that. I heard that he got like fired. I didn't know how real that whole situation was, but if it's like another fake firing, I guess it's just a thing to like drum up more attention and drum up more and like kind of drum up a little bit more hype, because live doesn't have a lot of hype behind it right now. Again, especially Boogie does. They're gonna have to reform the entire show. So there's a very small chance that could work, but again, it's like anybody in the UK and kind of around the world, but like anybody around the UK will know the Top Gear situation, and Top Gear was a show in the UK, and it really like. Basically, it was a motor. It's like basically a car show in the UK. Nobody gave a shit about the car section. Nobody ever watched it for the cars. They watched it for the hosts. And again, similar to Lolcow Live, people watch it for the hosts. Like, not necessarily about maybe the topics, but they watched it for the chemistry of the hosts. So, and the second part of that. Should hop on, add to the title a little bit. Just happened maybe 2 days ago. Maybe I could do something like that. Maybe, yeah, I definitely want to cover some more recent stuff. I will be covering something a little bit extra tomorrow, because obviously they had the big relaunch of Lolcow Queens with Tina and Savage, and we've covered Savage a little bit on this channel, so I think that it is right to sort of cover that sort of reboot. which I personally like. I think the show is better, and it's kind of on its like, it's definitely on the up a little bit, Queens, because I wasn't. Yeah, again, I'll probably talk a bit more about that tomorrow in tomorrow's show. Yeah. Hi, host and everyone. Hello. Welcome, Paddy. Welcome, Paddy. We've got some new people around here. That's quite cool. That's quite cool. We got some new people around here. Hello, anybody that's new, smash the like button on the stream right now, and yeah, welcome to the show. I was originally gonna go for 2 hours, but I think we're gonna end up going over a little bit, but that's fine with me. Yeah, Top Gear was awesome. Yeah, that show was really good. I really enjoyed it. I think it was like a bit of a worldwide audience for that show as well. It was such a good show. Even though I wasn't like super into cars or whatever, but it was a good show. I unsubbed from Lolcow Live because the show was dying so far. Yeah, I'm not. They were talking on this stream. Even though the stream was like 2 weeks ago, but yeah, they were talking on this stream about having 94,000 subscribers, and the show has dropped by like over 1,300, maybe even a bit more. The show has actually dropped just in 2 weeks from that, so it's falling apart at the moment, and I think, you know, the magic of the show has been lost, and I cover Lolcow Live every now and then. Oh, that's cool. So you do your own little show as well. That's really cool. Or little show, big show. I don't know, but yeah, you guys. Oh, cool. We got some other content creators in here that cover shows like that. That's really cool that you guys are in here and all that. So yeah, I've got this video right here to watch, and then I've got another little video. It's down to 96. It's down to 92.6k. Shit! So it's dropped another 100 since we've been watching this. That is crazy. Yeah, that is crazy. That just shows that people are not like enjoying the direction of the show. I subbed and liked. Good luck, guys. Oh, thank you so much, Giant. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much.
50 miles per gallon. Like, that's decent.
Yeah, same.
I get 16.
I've literally been so big in my life that I would.
Now they're talking about how they can steer the cars with the fat or something like that. I genuinely at this point I don't know. Well, at this point I don't know.
Have to suck in my gut to make big turns.
Let's see if we can skip a little bit more to the end. So I am kind of interested to see how this show ends, because obviously this is Wing's final show. So I want to see how it ends. So let's see if we're getting there, because we're already heading to be over a little bit. So let's see how this ends out. Okay, so Keem hops back in at the end here for a little bit. So let's see how this ends up, how this all ends up going. So yeah, sorry about that, but yeah, sure. Okay. Dan, okay, I'm a little bit behind on the comments, so we're just gonna read these before we continue. Dan, I sub to you, and this is good invest. Very, very cool. Thank you very much. I again appreciate that so much. Anybody who subscribes, likes the stream, You know, I appreciate that so much because again, it's something that's free for you guys to do, and you know, it helps the stream and it helps to push the stream out there. So again, massively appreciate everybody who's in the chat right now and who's liked and subscribed and all of that kind of. I massively appreciate it. So yeah, this is the end of the show. Okay, Keemstar's got a glass of wine in his hand, and as a I can see the Lebrowski video right now. If you guys don't know, there's a YouTuber called Lebrowski who covers Lolcow Live and kind of pretty much is like a make fun of Keemstar channel. It I can't lie, it is kind of funny. I can hear and see Lebrowski right now calling Keemstar an alcoholic gnome, like he usually does. Bro's out here. He's got the celebratory glass of wine here.
Fitting.
He knows. He knows.
Oh.
Keemstar's upgraded from White Claws to wine now.
Sweetie, we're gonna put you in timeout. You know, I think there's gonna be a lot of opinion.
He says Paddy says in chat there was a show with Boogie crashing out over a troll called Denmark. Yes, I have seen that. I actually do plan on covering a bit of that as well. That is all in the plan. That will definitely be covered. So don't worry about that. Like I've got plans to cover that kind of stuff as well. Later, fellas. Good luck. Thank you for stopping in here. Giant, thank you so much for stopping in here. I appreciate the support. And yeah, see you later. So yeah, here we are. By the way, I am kind of new to this streaming stuff. So a few weeks ago, I actually started off with my first proper show stream because I've streamed before, but I'd never done like a show like this, and I kind of like got a little bit inspired, and I was thinking, you know what, I'm gonna do my own show. I'm gonna cover some things and all of that kind of stuff. So yeah, I've got a little tiny bit of history with the LCU and like knowing certain hosts and all of that kind of stuff. So I was like, you know what, we're gonna cover some stuff, do my own streams, and yeah, it's been so fun so far. I was so nervous when I first started out, like, to do a stream like this, and it's so crazy how little time it's taken me to settle in and get these streams working and all of that kind of stuff. So yeah, definitely excited to continue.
Opinions that will probably be negative from this, you know, on the internet. They'll say, you know, he had bitch in his blood. That'll definitely be something being said. And he wimped out.
Think my dad.
Yeah, it'll be all that kind of shit.
Yeah.
But those are opinions. There will be people upset. People.
As I said, it's kind of a bittersweet for me personally. Like, I've grown to like part of Wings of Redemption. I do get, like, obviously he has like a lot of trolls and he's done a lot of stuff. So yeah, let me read this comment. There's this little heart thing that's new here, and YouTuber put it here, but it conveniently cuts off the last comment, which is conveniently the one that I need to read. Let me have a little look at this. You are doing better than Lolcow Live right now, if I'm being honest. Oh, that is actually a nice thing to say. I really appreciate that a lot. Like, personally, I don't think, like, I would never compare myself to any shows like in the LCU, because they've been doing it a lot of time. You know, they've got Keemstar behind them. They've got like big names behind them and stuff like that. So I'd like never compare myself to them kinds of shows. But like, I massively appreciate the support. I really that genuinely I really appreciate that.
People happy, people mad, people sad. But those are feelings.
People be in their feelings like Boogie right now over the Denmark shit.
The fact is,
and like the thing about okay, we're gonna talk a little bit about Denmark. So Denmark is kind of like a younger creator who has joined the LCU on one of the new shows, Lolcow Cash, and I will be covering all of these new shows because I feel like I need to cover all of the new shows, but like cover them in like do a little bit of each one. So have a look at each show, have a look at maybe a stream or so of that show, and a little bit of lore behind the show. And do that as like a stream. That is the kind of a planned stream that I'm going to be doing probably next week. So that's the plan for probably next weekend, because I do struggle to stream within the week. It's just very, very busy in the week, and that it's difficult to stream in the week. It's like obviously without this being my full time thing, without me being able to dedicate like a ton of time into this, but. That would be the dream, but as of right now, weekends are usually better for streaming for me personally. But yeah, this Denmark guy is like a massive troll, and I'm not gonna lie, some of that shit is funny. I'm not gonna lie.
Fucking one. That's just a cold hard fact. We set off to do this show. And everybody said shit wasn't going to work. Shit was going to fail. Shit was dead a million times.
Okay, Keem's doing the whole thing where he's like, the show, yeah. Keem's kind of gassing up Lolcow Live right now.
And opinions can be out there and feelings can be out there all they want. But the cold hard fact is we won. So for that, Lolcow Live.
Okay, so we got literally about, under a minute left of this stream. And then we're going to take a look at a separate video where Wings actually, I believe he says the reason for why. I haven't, again, kind of watched this video, half watched it, but again, we're going to watch it for the first time properly here. Okay, that was the ending of... Okay, that was quite abrupt and a little... I was expecting Kim to put something together a little bit. Maybe like piece together a little montage or something. I guess that's what he did in the next stream coming up, but... yeah, I was expecting a little something more. It was quite... just a little bit underwhelming. Just a little bit. Like... Anyway, we're gonna go on to the next little video right here. And this is a video by a channel in the... By the way, I will just do this right here. Shout out to Lolcow Live right here. Of course, go subscribe or whatever if you want to. Because obviously we watched the stream tonight, so I gotta give credits where credits due. Same with this other channel right here, Wings of Sigma. I don't know if this is a Wings troll channel. I have no idea. I just watched this video. I just thought, okay, I need a video to react to of Wings of Redemption saying his piece about Lolcow Live and why he left. So I found this video. This is kind of the best I could find right here, because I was trying to figure out the best video to do right here. So let's have a little look at this video. Okay, we got an intro. This could be some sort of copyright stuff.
Hey.
Okay.
Dog, like I could tell exactly why I left LCU. Like, I was miserable.
Okay, so a little bit backstory. This is in one of Wings' stream. So Wings streams on his channel. He pretty much does gaming streams, and this is during one of them gaming streams.
I had nothing I said mattered. I had no real ownership of anything over there. I had more responsibility. I had no mods powers whatsoever. So if somebody talked shit to me, I just had to eat it.
Okay, so apparently this is like one of the big parts of why Wings was not happy. Number one, the money wasn't the same, obviously. Again, I think that the support and stuff like that wasn't to the same extent or whatever. He also didn't have much power in terms of like what he could do. Like on his own streams, he can, if there's any trolls in the chat on his streams, he can just silence them, all of that kind of stuff. He has that direct power to do so, and whatever. Whereas with Lolcow Live, he just kind of had to sit there and endure the trolling and all of that kind of stuff. So
I had people going into the network that had less than a month of actual time in the Discord have more power and authority over than me over things. It's like,
so to me, this seems a little bit like, okay, it wasn't just about the money, it was about the power and the authority of like what he had. And I guess he had more of it back in the day, but has lost it now that the LCU has become a bigger thing. Because you got to remember, back when Wings joined the LCU, it was just live. It was a podcast. It was like the thing. And then they got a couple of other shows and made a couple of other shows. And then before you know it, it's this huge thing with 2 circuits of 24-hour entertainment.
and then it turned into like 24/7 fucking telethon, right? Like I would literally ask Keem behind the scenes, like, hey man, like you have all these shows, you got 24 hours, you have an entire network. We need to start selling advertisements against this and stop relying so much on like fan support to like fund everything.
Okay, that's kind of interesting that the Wings brought this idea to the table. So I'm assuming selling advertisements means either that they were gonna advertise the show. It's either advertising the show or advertising other things within the show. So like brand deals or something like that. Which again, that would make sense. But obviously Keem wanted to do it as more of a show without like a brand deal. Maybe they could have little sponsors, maybe something in the background or something like that. So like, if you had a company that wanted to have a banner or banner space in the background, that would be a cool concept to do. But obviously didn't want to do it and sort of stuck to the guns of having, being fully supported by the fans, which again, that kind of makes sense for me because obviously I'm a smaller channel. I can't really, and again, like I'm a smaller channel. We kind of rely on fan funding, I suppose, because brand deals, like brands, are very, very much less likely to sponsor a smaller channel. That is just pretty much a fact of the whole thing. So yeah, that's brands are less likely to sponsor us, so it makes more sense for Live because it is a bigger channel, and I think Live could get some sponsorship.
Imagine being able to...
Okay, let me get past this ad for you guys, but yeah, I think Live could definitely... They could definitely go down.
It's like nobody's gonna support this Wings, and I'm like, I agree. Like it's gonna be hectic to get support, but like pornography has advertisements, right? Like there's
Wings comparing Lolcow Live to Lolcow Live advertisements to pornography. Didn't think that was gonna happen, but you do you, Wings.
There's people out there that will support this show. You're not getting fucking Dell computers, but you might get Bang Bus, right? You might get Brazers. There's somebody out there that will throw some type of like love towards this.
Yeah, there definitely is. There are definitely companies that will sponsor something like Lolcow Live, even though it is like again, you have, controversies that are attached to the brand. Like the whole Boogie Cancer situation, the whole Wing situation. There is definitely, an element of, that kind of connection you have with it. But at the same time, there are brands that are willing to sponsor more edgy content now. So You know, there definitely could have been.
Granted, you're not gonna put pornography on fucking YouTube, but like I'm just saying, there's companies out there that are shady enough, like fucking Raid, Shadow Legends, you know, any VPN company, like, you know, like fucking.
Yeah, the VPN companies and Raid Shadow Legends are definitely some of the biggest ones that, like Manscaped as well. You know, they're big companies that will throw their funding at, creators with, 100K subscribers or whatever.
And Raycon, like somebody would actually put their name on what we're doing.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Not really. I mean,
You're
like,
honestly doing a little better now than you were then.
no, I was doing better the first time I quit Lolcow. Like, I used to pull like 400 or 500 viewers on COD back in the day, like right before I went back to Lolcow. And like, I've been struggling.
I remember the Modern Warfare 2 search live these days.
The problem is like the whole time I'm asking for a third for Lolcow Live. I'm like, give us a third, give us a third. Like, it needs to be more than just me, Boogie. And the second I leave, it becomes 3 people. It's like,
that is kind of crazy. He was asking, because he was kind of that's one of the main things that we saw in the stream. Like, he was very, very much implying that he wanted that 3 host thing, you know, the dynamic between 3 people for the podcast. So definitely something that he wanted, and they kind of brought it back to a 3 host thing afterwards. So I don't know whether that is coincidence. Sorry. I don't know whether that is coincidence or whether it was intentional, but I don't know.
Okay. That's just what I'm saying. It's like every time I ask for a concession, nothing ever happens. It's like, here's more responsibility at the same money. It's like, okay, I got you.
Okay, so I'm assuming that is pretty much the gist of the entire situation. So, yeah, I guess we're going to wrap up the stream right here. I will end off the stream, wrapping it up properly. But, yeah, if you want to support the channel, then you can become a member. That is always available. We have memberships available for $1.99 a month, which is just a little extra thing to help us out. If you want to help us out even more with something and get something physical, we have merchandise available. I'm actually wearing a hat right now, which is quite a low-key merchandise, the Blackout edition of the 10 Years collection. I'm also wearing a t-shirt, which is also the Blackout edition. So I have merchandise. Link to that is in the description. We have the 10 Years collection available right now to purchase. It is a limited edition collection, so limited stock available with all of that kind of stuff. So yeah, that is available if you want to support the channel and you want to also just get something that is cool to wear. These designs are pretty cool. We took a long time. Me and my design team took a long time to, craft and make these designs and make these products, a reality. So if you do want to go ahead and support the channel, that is one of the best ways to do so. In that way, you get something physical, like a physical representation of the channel. You get something really, really cool to wear. Plus, you also get to support the content and help, create more content on this YouTube channel. So, merch link is in the description below if you want to check that out. Also, super chats, super thanks, whatever you want to call it, is also available on this channel throughout the streams and the videos and all of that kind of stuff. So if you want to help out in that way, then that is also, a thing on the channel as well. But yeah. I just want to say a huge thank you to every single person who has been in the chat today. The new people who have joined, the people who we have in regulars, I really, really appreciate your support, whether that is a like on the video, whether you smashed a like on the video, or you commented in chat. I really, really appreciate every single one of you and all of that support that you have given this stream today. So, thank you guys so much for watching the stream. Let me just switch over now back to my regular main view. Okay, let me just... 1 second, guys. Okay, we're back to the full screen right here. But yeah, I was trying to show you the merch on the small thing. But yeah, This is kind of low-key merch, so you've got embroidery across the top here. It is kind of supposed to be a more low-key thing. The camera doesn't really pick it up that well. It doesn't do it that much justice. But yeah, in person, this is looking a lot better. But yeah, as you can see, you've got the 10 years logo. You can kind of see on the side right here. We also do another version with purple embroidery. So it's a black cap with the purple embroidery. It stands out a lot more, but we wanted to do the best of both worlds in that sort of situation. So we wanted to have like a blackout edition, which is a more low-key edition for the merchandise. Hence why, like with the t-shirt as well, you've just got a little black print right here, which is very, very low-key style of thing for people who don't want like big, obnoxious prints. It does look cool in real life, yeah, 100%. Like, but this shit does look actually like decent in real life. But yeah, and then we have the purple, just the original edition ones, which stand out a lot more. Obviously, you've got the black t-shirt with the purple, and the back prints always stand out a lot more. Let me try to show you guys a bit of the back print right here. But yeah, as you can see, we've got a huge 10 on the back right here, and the 10 is made up of loads and loads of thumbnails from over the 10 years that I have been on YouTube for. So this is like a collection to celebrate 10 years of the channel, but to also welcome the new people as well. The new people who watching these streams and this new direction that I'm taking this channel in. So it's a representation of all of that in one merch collection. So yeah, if you want to go ahead and cop some of the merch, link is in the description as always. Thank you guys so much for watching. We have gone over a little bit, but that is fine. We have no redirects, no nothing for today, so that is completely fine that we've gone over a bit. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this stream. I always appreciate every single person in the chat, every single person who liked the stream, commented, all of that kind of stuff. So yeah, thank you guys all so much for watching. Please comment, like, and subscribe. We are going to be doing another stream tomorrow, a little bit earlier, so that's going to be a thing. So tomorrow, there's the next stream. We're going to be looking over the brand new Lolcow Queen show. So quite excited for that one. But yeah, that's tomorrow's stream. Thank you guys so much for watching. Comment, like, subscribe, as always, and I'll see you all in the next video. Let's go. Let me find that. Okay. See you guys in the next video. Take it easy and peace. Take it easy and peace. Bye.
Yeah. Stream King flexing, pressing record, no stressing. Frame tight, focus sharp, never second guessing. Live stream heat, no edit confession. Chat lit, crazier than a Shark Tank session. Lighting up the feed, living in a stream dream. Challenges supreme, making moves on the live screen. Climbing views taller than a skyscraper beam. Ruler of the web, yet a Stream King gleam. Timer set, blindfolded while the stakes peak. Spicy noodle sweat running, voice getting weak. Ice bath, cold words freeze mid-speak. Content so fire, it trends every week. Lighting up the feed, living in a stream dream. Challenges supreme, making moves on the live screen. Climbing views taller than a skyscraper beam. Ruler of the web, yet a Stream King gleam. Super chat rings, audience full of kings. Comment section buzzing, making viral wings. Challenges click, grip tighter like slings. Epic every stream, crowds flocking like spring. 24-hour grind, pulling stunts untamed. Duct tape to the wall, yet they all know my name. Enemies try to troll, but they softer than fame. This the marathon throne, and I run this game. Yeah. Skyscraper beam, ruler of the web, yet a Stream King gleam. Yeah. Super chat rings, Audie when still looking. Spicy noodle sweat, running, voice getting weak. Ice bath, cold words freeze mid-speak. Content so fire, it trends every week. 24-hour grind, pulling stunts untamed. Duct tape to the wall, yet they all know my name. Enemies try to troll, but they softer than fame. This the marathon throne, and I run this game. 24-hour grind, pulling stunts untamed. Duct tape to the wall, yet they all know my name. Enemies try to troll, but they softer than fame. This the marathon throne, and I run this game, yeah.